Hello and welcome back to Affiliate Reviews. In this video, we're going to be looking at Eureka. And the first thing I want to say is there's an excellent chance that by the end of this video, I will be using some strong language. So that's a heads up. I'm sure you don't watch these videos with small children in the room anyway. Beyond that, this is an honest review video, as will become clear very, very soon. Not a hype or sales or promotional video. There will be a link to the sales page we're looking at in the description down below. If, against my best advice, you decide you want to buy this product anyway, you can check out the link down below. It'll take you to the sales page. You can look at the same information we're looking at here in this video. And if you decide to purchase the product through my link, I will receive a commission. Don't hate me if you buy it and you don't like it. Listen to what I have to say about it, make up your own mind. But this is Eureka. Now, this is a big sales page. They're kind of selling a lot. I don't mind that they're selling a lot. I don't mind what they're selling. Two things bother me a lot about this product. The first is that it's kind of like a bad political message. That is, it's not a political message. You know, you get political messages where we're hearing about what a politician is promising to do. We find out what they believe in and what they espouse and what they're planning on, you know, what their plan is if they get into power. And then there's the ones that just slander everybody else. They don't really talk about what they're going to do. They just talk about how awful everyone else is. Mostly that's what this is going to do. Secondly, it's like a door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman. It talks a big game, and it makes that game sound better because it says a lot of things that I don't think are necessarily true about the competition. Well, let's take a look at this. So, Eureka, stop paying ransom to kidnappers who hold you and your data hostage for monthly fees that never end. You can have storage, cloud hosting, graphics, and funnel page design, autoresponder content without endlessly paying thousands of dollars each year. Okay, so what this is saying is that it will let you replace cloud storage like Dropbox, web design like ClickFunnels, autoresponders like Aweber, whoever your web hosting is, get rid of your graphic design, your content writer. Basically, this is your one-stop miracle website provision product. Now, that's all fine and good. You can... I want to start by saying, apart from a place to host your website, none of the rest of this is really essential anyway. I mean, Dropbox and other cloud storage systems, most web hosts will give you more than enough storage for anything you're putting online. And unless you're sharing documents internationally or something like that, I mean, they're going to make a case for, you know, hundreds of dollars a year for cloud storage. I mean, if you're just looking for data backup, you can, you know, for less than 200, for about $100, you can buy a 2 gigabyte external hard drive that you can keep in a safe place. You can back it up, you know, once a week or once a day or whatever. The reason that we pay for things like this is out of convenience, but there's a ton of competition these days for cloud storage space. ClickFunnels, likewise. What ClickFunnels does, you can do with, I don't want to say any, but with several anyway, different web hosting and web design software programs. Frankly, what ClickFunnels does, you can do on Wix for free. What ClickFunnels does is allows you to do it more quickly and easily. That's what you're doing. You're basically paying for convenience. You don't need an autoresponder, but man, it's a lot easier than responding to emails by yourself individually. And Aweber, I'm pretty sure most of these companies now offer starter plans, so you can actually pay nothing until your mailing list gets up to a certain size. I think, I'm not sure, I think Aweber will let you have a mailing list of 100 email addresses for free. Now, there's some limited options in there, yes, but basically, they're letting you start something and make a profit to cover any potential costs before they're charging you any money, which is actually pretty nice of them. Anyway, let's take a look as we go through here. This is blacked out. Apparently, I've had this page open for a while. This is basically a hype video. It tells us how wonderful the product is, but mostly it does it by telling us that we can get rid of everything else. There's a lot of stuff on here. I'm not going to read through all of this. Certainly, you should take the time to before you make up your mind. It looks very, very good. The early bird price is not on here yet, or there's no price. We've got $17 down here. The product has not quite launched yet as I'm doing this video. This bothers me. They're holding you hostage. No one's holding you hostage. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of options for literally everything that we're looking at in here. There's so many places that will do your web hosting. There's so many places. I don't even know how many autoresponders there are now. There's a lot. There's all kinds of page builders. Page building at $19.97 a year. You can. I've just lost. I didn't take notes on this. There's a web host. They're like the big web host guys. They probably do a Google search, but basically, you can build a page for nothing. It just comes as a default. So many places that do not the hosting, but there's all kinds of web builders. Again, I mentioned Wix earlier. It's not who I'm looking for, but there's so many places where you can get a website built by yourself for nothing. And a lot of what we're going to see later on is a lot of, well, you're going to spend at least this much. Well, I don't think that you are. Cloud storage, $500 a year. Now, if you're spending $500 a year on cloud hosting, I sincerely hope that you are a massive company. Content writer at $3,000 a year, $2,987 a year. Graphics at $500. Now, you might be paying for graphics packages, but there's a ton of free content available. Okay, once they have your data, they know you can't escape. Actually, that's not true. It's actually exactly the opposite. They know you can escape, and that's why they offer promotional offers, and that's why they offer competitive pricing. And, for the people who don't like it, they go and they start up their own competing industries or competing alternatives. So there's just so much bullshit in the sales copy. And I get the desire to hype, but it's just it's so comical almost. Like, but there's a dark side. Yeah, okay. Like, if you want to post Vimeo and HostGator, which these are very specific examples, by the way, if you want to picture all of these guys as like Darth Vader or something like that, I guess if that's what makes you happy, but there's alternatives to Dropbox. We use Dropbox because it's convenient. If you don't want to pay to host videos on Vimeo, you can host your videos for free on YouTube. In fact, you can go to YouTube and you can set up videos that are private that can only be seen by certain individuals or certain other accounts. And it costs you nothing. I'm sure there's some premium services that they offer, but there's a lot of people who host websites and they don't even host the video on their website. They simply link it to a YouTube account someplace and host the videos over there. A HostGator, I've never dealt with HostGator. I don't know what I pay for individual websites. I mean, the domain registration comes in anywhere from like $5 to hundreds, depending on the name you're trying to get. The hosting, I don't know, $50. I guess, again, it depends on what you're hosting, I suppose, and how many you're hosting and what kind of a plan you get with different, but I mean, if you're just starting out, you shouldn't be spending $339 a month. You might be if you're well established and running multiple little hustles. Okay, Dropbox value $144, HostGator $5,000 a year. Oh my goodness, what are you doing for $5,000 a year with HostGator? Aweber $1,788 a year. Again, if you're paying that kind of money, I would hope you have mailing lists of like 20,000 people. And once these blood-sucking companies, like, really, what kind of a caricature are we trying to paint here? No, they don't think you're stuck. They're not kidnappers. They're the opposite of kidnappers. Right? Kidnappers take. What you're doing is you are going to these companies, and if you're an intelligent human being, which I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you are, you're doing a little bit of research before you start to find the best option for your niche, for your plans and your projects, and you are taking your business, you're taking your data, your web building to these individual companies. There's just so much ridiculousness. All right, so this says, apparently we can store unlimited files and videos, host unlimited websites, build unlimited pages, send unlimited emails, generate unlimited content, and edit unlimited videos. Now, I've already said bullshit once, and I'm going to say it again. Now, you might be able to get all of these things unlimited, but I doubt you're going to get it for $17. Well, why do I say that? Well, we're going to go over, this is the product page on Warrior Plus. Okay, so, and I'm not even going to look at let's look at the funnel map. These funnel maps are fun. Okay, so let's get down to the bottom here. This is where the funnel map starts, and if you decide to buy the front end, you're going to get all of these additional offers. Why are we getting these additional offers? What are they? Well, we've got Eureka, and then we've got Eureka Unlimited. I'm just giving you a second to let that sink in. If over here you can store unlimited files and host unlimited websites, etc., then why is there an unlimited version here? And then why is there a business version here? Okay, and then we've got a reseller version. Now, obviously, this means that you are able to sell the service to other people, but then there's a traffic edition. And done for you blogs, which, I mean, I don't know. And then a white label as well. So actually, by the time you're done with this, you aren't spending $17. You're actually spending $621 if you want everything. If you want to escape these blood-sucking companies, then you get to go through multiple stages of sales pages after sales pages after sales pages and spend $621 to get everything that you're actually promised. So I very much doubt you're getting unlimited with this product. Now, I've not bought the product. I have not test-driven the product. Too much going on in a day, and especially when it comes to reviewing this stuff, there simply is not time. I want to look at something else quick before we move on. So this product is coming out through IAM Revolution Lab, and if we take a look at, well, let's see, there's Smart Hosting. Smart Hosting had a 14% refund rate. Okay, these aren't people who are a little bit unhappy. These are the people who are unhappy enough to ask for their money back. I think I looked to see if I could get a link on this, and I did get a link, but I never did a video on it. 1,000 people bought it, and 280 of them at least wanted their money back.
Just think about that. Think about what it would look like if you went to the theater tomorrow and 1,000 people went into the same theater to see the same movie, and 280 of them walked out and wanted their money back. Or if you knew of a restaurant that had, a 14% dissatisfaction rating to the point where people wanted their money back. A restaurant would go broke if they had that happen. These are not, now they're not all 14%. We've got some different things. We've got some courses here, but premium hosting, storage, video hosting for $14. This kind of looks familiar, and we've got a 12% refund rating on this one. Green Pages, 13%. Okay, now I have people asking me from time to time, what kind of refund rating do you like to see? And I tell them, ideally I like to see 0. If someone is selling 1,000 of something, I like to see, I think 2% is not bad. 1 to 2%. 5%, I start getting concerned. 1 to 2%, honestly, I expect that you're going to have some people who buy it and aren't sure exactly what they're getting, or they're buying it because it's got a money back guarantee and they're going to buy it, they're going to try it out or whatever. But there's all kinds of people who would buy this for $17, never use it, or be dissatisfied with it and say, well, whatever, it's not worth getting my money back. These are the people who are upset enough to get their money back. Okay, so part 1. So this is going to break this down into, I think, 5 parts. And I'm going to call bullshit on the numbers on pretty much all of them. Save at least $720 a year. Now, again, this is assuming that you're using Dropbox or Google Drive, OneDrive, etc. Now, just do a Google search. I'm sure it's gonna differ a little bit depending on what country you're in. You may or may not be in Canada or the United States, but up to, right? See, here we've got up to $20 a month, but here we're saying at least $720 a year. Again, you don't need to pay for cloud storage for documents that aren't on your website. There's so many other ways to protect them, or frankly, email them to yourself. And guess what? Suddenly Google, if you have Gmail or you have Hotmail or whatever, whoever you're with, just email it to yourself, and suddenly your email server is storing it all for you. Okay? And if it's information on your website, I have personally never exceeded the amount of data on a website that I even ended up paying any additional money for hosting charges. But if you do, you're probably not paying an extra $20 a month. In fact, if you have a website, usually one of the things you get is data storage that goes with it. So no, I would not say this is accurate. Again, Vimeo, this is a very specific example. I'm trying to think who I know who uses Vimeo. I'm sure if I went looking, somebody I know does, but most people don't. Between YouTube and Odyssey and Rumble, and there's just so many other options for hosting your videos. And frankly, if you've got a website, and let's say you're an affiliate marketer, because you're probably looking to get into that, and you have videos that you're putting up promoting your products, you probably want to put them someplace where people will see them. So you can host them on Vimeo, but go to Rumble and go to YouTube and go to Odyssey, and not only can I think you can put them up for free on all of those. You can even, if you're getting enough, you can, depending on the type of videos you're putting out, you can monetize. I don't know about Odyssey, Rumble and YouTube. You can both monetize without any trouble. I don't get the problem here. Now we're claiming lightning speed. A lot of that's going to have more to do with your web hosting than anything else. Recover any file deleted in the last 30 days.
Okay. Again, I think this is pretty standard. We used to call this the recycle bin. There's, unbreakable SSL security means your files are safe. This I thought was basically standard on any web hosting service these days. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the ones I've used. 24/7 support and knowledge base. I mean, this is a product being put out by two guys. They maybe have this legitimately. I'm guessing it's probably outsourced to somebody else, or you can host with somebody else and get 24/7 support and knowledge base from people who actually work for that company. Okay, and stat track every visitor to sharing pages. Again, this is all stuff that you can get. How easy is it to move? Well, it's easy. It's easy to move from anything to anything. As a rule, again, the services that have been listed so far are not really holding your content hostage. So we're gonna zip down part 2. Save at least $264 a year. Now, hosting is one of those things that you legitimately have a hard time getting around. But again, what you pay for hosting is going to depend on what you want. It's going to, there's a lot of different hosting companies. The last web host you will ever need. Well, again, either these guys have a massive bank of servers someplace, or more likely they are subcontracting, where they are basically leasing space from somebody else. And my concern with something like this is if the company that's hosting this particular product goes down, what happens to your content? Right. So if you're hosting with they've mentioned WebGator, there's a number of others we could talk about. But if you're hosting with WebGator and WebGator goes under, WebGator, first of all, how likely is that to happen? Or let's say Bluehost, which is used by a number of people that I know, then guess what? Well, Bluehost is pretty big. They've got a professional business strategy. They're not based on simply two guys hosting an affiliate product. And switching website hosting is not super complicated. Eureka Builder. This one I find is hilarious. $35.64 a year for a web builder. Who does that? Like, seriously, who does that? I mean, maybe if you're paying someone for your first website, but if you're building your own web page and you have a rough idea of what you're doing, again, if you want, you can create your own funnel. This is assuming that you are using ClickFunnels, and even ClickFunnels, I haven't looked at their pricing in a while, but I'm pretty much guarantee that they're going to have a range of pricing based on how many different funnels you want and what kinds of services you want. It costs you a car every 10 years. This is great. And that's if they're nice and don't decide to drop another price hike on you. From the guys who are advertising at $17 for a $621 product. Right? Okay. Optimize your funnels with unlimited split tests. No, there's a lot of good stuff. And this could all be in the product, by the way. I'm not saying it's not. I am calling bullshit on the unlimited because you don't offer 3 or 4 specific packages above the basic because the basic one is unlimited. That's absolute garbage. And make you think you're locked in. You can cancel ClickFunnels and your funnels disappear. Well, I mean, if you cancel your ClickFunnels, ClickFunnels will stop hosting your ClickFunnels. They'll stop hosting your funnels. But I believe I mean, a funnel is basically a fancy name for a web page or series of web pages that are designed to draw sales. And the reality is that, again, if they're just web pages, funnels are just a fancy name for web pages, specific web pages or specifically designed web pages. Eureka Mailer, again, we've looked at this. There's no price with this one, which is great. Yeah, remember when MailChimp was all the rage?
Get Response, Aweber, and guess what? These things are $100 a month. I can't imagine. But again, there's all kinds of options that are there for you without getting into these ridiculous amounts of money. And then somewhere, oh yes, Eureka Design, save thousands every year. I say this probably about once every 10 videos. Canva.com, C-A-N-V-A. Guess what? It will give you, you don't need Photoshop. We get a description down here, right? Design templates. Guess what? That's what Canva has. Drag and drop simplicity. Guess what? That's what Canva has. In-depth but easy editing tools. That's what Canva has. Resize designs. That's what Canva has. It's so ridiculously simple. And guess what? Canva has free options and they have professional options. And basically the professional options come in, you can design as many things as you want. It's just a matter of how much stuff you want to store on the Canva website. So if you want to make 10 images and then save them all to your computer and delete them off Canva, you can keep using it for free. But if you decide that you want access to them on Canva and you want to use Canva as your data backup for your images, then they have plans for that. 2.5 million stock photos for free use in any commercial project. Awesome. Or there's all kinds, just search for royalty-free stock photos. Again, there's so many better options than jumping in. How easy is it? I'm sure it's super easy. Okay. Now, so again, there's a lot of bad hype on here. There's a lot of bad figures. And Bluehost 3480. I think this is the top of the line for Bluehost. If you were starting with with a single web page, you don't want to be spending 3480 with Bluehost. I know just factually. I have a couple pages with Bluehost, and I do not pay anywhere near that. I think my Bluehost bill is like, I don't know, $200 and something for the one page anyway. It's not, and it's not. It's like it's a fraction of this. So there's just so much bullshit. That's it. This is the bullshit page. So again, this is launching in a few hours' time. The video should be live about the same time as this. These are Daniel Ajatuni and Vijay Pratap Singh. These are the guys who are behind this. I have nothing against these guys personally or in particular. I have heard their names a few times, but I haven't been specifically burned by them. But again, there's so much. This is exactly the types of sales page or types of sales page that personally I detest. It's giving you a lot of hyped up, untrue figures so that you will go and buy their product, which, again, like it's hard. Here's the one we want. It's hard not to look at the last web hosting product they put out and not see the glaring 14% refund rate. Or this is their Daniel Ajatuni's profile page on Warrior Plus, and we've got a rating of 2 stars out of 5, 2.3, 1.39. We've got a 1 star rating down here. So we've got lots of bad hype. We've got a souped up list of upsells. We have ridiculously high refund rates, and we have a history of products with very poor customer satisfaction. This one in particular, what is this? Bliss e-learning. Well, that's 44 people have rated this to get it at a 1.14.
60. Normally, when you look at these ratings, they're frequently based on like, a lot of the time I'll say we can't really base much on the rating because it's like, well, here's one, 6. All right, so 2.33 ratings out of 6 reviews. All right, so, maybe it's just the 6 people who really hated it. But 70 people. 70 people, that's a big chunk of people who've been pissed off enough by a bad product to go and review it. 111. I think this is the highest number of reviews I've ever seen on a product, at least that I've been paying attention to. So, anyway, numerous reasons. If you're starting out, this looks good, but don't do it. Just don't do it. Anyway, I'm going to draw this video to a close because it's been a long time. We've gone on for a while, and I think we've got a number of reasons to avoid this at this point. And that's my goal. I could easily hype this up and tell you guys how wonderful this is and to go buy it. And, great, I make a dozen sales or 100 sales or whatever and feel like an awful piece of humanity. And I would much rather give you guys as much truth as I can or help you to parse through these things. And I hope that's what you've gotten out of this. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for your patience, and we'll see you guys back here again soon.